Today, look at the base game Edge of Darkness. I love games like this. Makes me so happy. So let's figure out how to play. All right, what is this behemoth? Well, this is John Clare's card drafting and card crafting game with a little bit of worker placement. Yeah, you heard me right. Card crafting. We are literally going to be building the cards that we draft with. More about that in a minute. See this beautiful city? Well, it sits on the edge of the blight, and every so often the blight burps up monsters, and we, as guilds, are going to defend the city and gain some notoriety. Before we draft cards, we need to create them. To do that, John has provided us with these flaccid transparencies. And there are quite a few of them. There's one stack for every location that you can play in the game. Okay, so each of these sheets can have a top, middle, or bottom, or a combination. We're going to be picking them and sliding them into a sleeve with other sheets to make cards. Upgrading your starter cards is a pretty common mechanic in games like this, but actually literally upgrading the card itself is super cool. Now, as you can see here, each of these card upgrades are bound to one of the locations in the game. There's like 30 locations in the box, so there's a ton of variability. This renders out in different campaigns that bring crazy synergies between the cards. Throw out some tokens and get a stack of neutral cards, we're ready to get started. Oh yeah, there's one other giant eye-catching thing on the table. This sweet-ass tower. Please forgive me, mine needs to be painted. So this is how the game portrays the blight. This structure will always hold 3 cards that'll have some number of bad guys. You can see there's one bad guy per card here. Cards you draft will have threat on them. When you get some threat, you have to draw randomly colored plibbits from a bag and drop them. Oh, it's so satisfying. So they start accumulating under each baddie, and once the magic number is reached, that baddie whaps somebody. It's the player with the most color showing. Defend against it, or use locations like this to try to fight it before it gets here. Or maybe a better strategy is to pay a little money, put 2 of your guys here and increase your hand size. As long as you keep them there, you got +1 card in hand. Oh, but the capital, see, the capital lets you take a neutral card and make it one of yours. If anyone drafts this, they gotta pay you. Oh, good God, I forgot to talk about drafting. In the middle of the board is the street, and this is where you're always going to have 5 cards to choose from. Now, these are a mix of neutral cards, your cards, and other players' cards. Don't be sad if somebody takes one of your awesome cards you built up, because 1, they have to pay you, and 2, you get to have it in the next turn. That's just how it works. They use it, you get it. And of course, you want to upgrade your cards, but you got to be a little wary, because the back of every upgrade contains a bigger, worse monster. Those initial skeletons, yeah, they start bringing friends, so let's hope somebody's focusing on military. Okay, so I don't have an opinion on this game, and I can't wrap my brain around it yet, nor the Guilds expansion that I have, or the Cliffs of Coldwater. There's also more coming out, and I'm excited just to play it for years and years. But this type of game, it's just beautiful.